Hey, what is up everybody? It is your boy Evan coming to you with another video, right? So in this, I wanted to cover some of the comments that Candance Owens made in her recent video where she makes a severe lapse in judgment. I'm gonna be honest, there's no other way to put this, but this was fucking stupid. It was the dumbest thing she could have said and has said in a very long time. As a military veteran, I could tell you how important fidelity and service is to this nation. And she goes on her platform, her million-strong platform, and advocates for service members to disobey lawful orders from the United States government. She wants them to get dishonorably discharged, and I think that is just very irresponsible. In fact, it's illegal. Actually, it's illegal. You're soliciting a service member to commit a crime because you can't get dishonorably discharged without committing a crime. This is solicitation. This is wrong. It's irresponsible, and I pray that there is no service member that is emotional enough to have a lapse of judgment and follow her lead, because frankly, she doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about. She has no idea what it means to serve and to give up your autonomy for something greater. But before we get into her comments, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. I really appreciate it if you would. If you don't like the video, you know what, dislike it. I genuinely just want your interaction. Give me some feedback. Let me know where you guys are at. But with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into it.
But we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm happy to be proven wrong. I've been wrong before. LG19 writes, serious question, will there be jobs or community military members can join when I get a dishonorable discharge for not contributing to delete people or my body for the interest of a certain foreign nation benefit? I love this question. I do believe that if war in Iran is on the agenda, and that appears so, get dishonorably discharged. Who cares? Who cares? Why should you go die in a foreign land? You now have the benefit of 2020. You can see, think about those men and those women who died because they were pitched that they were serving their country because there were weapons of mass destruction, right? They were serving their country because the Taliban, they were serving their country, whatever, and these people gave up their lives. And ask yourselves, for what?
For what? Well, let's start on this very smallest level first, right? For your shipmates. For your battle buddy. The person who's on the field or at sea with you. The person right next to you. That's first off, right? Second off, your country. You may disagree that there was a reason to be in the Middle East. And in fact, I would mostly agree with that, right? The weapons of mass destruction weren't there. We were there largely for the interest of these greater companies, and that's a terrible reason to be in the region. However, when are you going to get to discern this as a service member? Who gets to make that judgment? You have to go into the military with a certain level of fidelity to do what you're told, as you're told, and not have the time to be explained things, because time-sensitive operations are about. You're not always going to get a chance to explain all the nuances of the Middle East. Sometimes you're going to have to take a leap of faith that the country that you chose to serve sent you to this region for a reason.
And the answer to that question is for the elites. They're like toy soldiers. And I would have said a few weeks ago that Trump would never do that to you. He would never just throw you into an Israeli war. But right now, our planes are flying in the sky, and things are going nuclear. So I don't have that confidence anymore. And
Now, first off, when she says that Trump just mindlessly threw us into this, that's not the case. Now, me and her might even mutually agree that initially, this did not need to happen. This was avoidable. And I've been critical about Trump when it comes to our involvement into this war. You guys saw in the last video. But the matter of the fact is that we are here now. There's no backpedaling. Iran's not going to strike a deal with us. There is no world in which Iran gives up their uranium enrichment. It's naive to think otherwise. There is no deal that is going to be made. And now Iran has even gone as far as to say that they're going to try to hold us accountable. You had the Parliament of Iran chanting death to America, burning a flag, or, well, it looked like it was a printout of a flag, but nonetheless, sending a message, a clear message, that they intend to do us harm. Maybe all that was avoidable. Maybe we didn't have to get to this far, but the point is, this is where we are at now. So yeah, we're at a point to where the military may have to flex our strength. we may have to enforce our will onto that region. I'm not stoked about it, but I am a realist. This is where we're at now. There is no backpedaling. There is no staying out of this. Not when we have sleeper cells in the United States. This is no longer an overwaters issue, right? You don't get to just look the other way and ignore what's going on. And for better or for worse, we're involved.
I'm comfortable with people being dishonorably discharged because the dishonor has come from our politicians.
See, this is the thing that really fucking bugs me. Candance Owens has no idea what she's fucking talking about. She wants people to be dishonorably discharged. She has no idea what that does to your life and how it destroys it. It's like having a felony. You lose any sort of claim to military benefits. You're forever stained on your permanent record. Good luck getting a job. You're gonna go to a packing house? Work minimum wage with some method? No offense if you guys are packing house workers that aren't methods. That was maybe a poor example. I'm sorry about that. You guys can chastise me on that if you want. But you get my point. It's not a small deal. It's not a misdemeanor. There are serious implications to getting a dishonorable discharge. And of course, Candace is okay with it. She's never had to take a role in something like the military. She's never had to give up her own autonomy so that she could serve something greater. No, everything she's done has been selfish. It's always been what I want to do at this moment. That's her entire career, right? I want to champion these conservative rights. Awesome, great. That's what you wanted to do. That's what we liked, so it lined up. Oh, I want to go against my boss because I don't like the way Israel is handling Palestine. Okay, cool. That's what you want to do? That fine. Some people aren't going to like that. Some people will like that. But that is ultimately your choice. Everything you've done has always been in service to yourself, Candace. You wouldn't understand what it means to serve something greater than yourself and to make choices beyond your control. You just wouldn't get it. You've never served. And you have the goal to tell service members, destroy your life. Destroy your family's life. Get kicked out the military. And not just kicked out in the worst way possible. Become a traitor to your nation. She doesn't get it. But she feels like she has the moral high ground, right? And that's going to feed your kids. Yeah, no. You're able to grab those little feelings of empathy, sympathy, and moral righteousness and put it on a plate, slide it over your kid, and let them eat that for the night. Because you're unemployed. Because you've been labeled as a traitor to this nation. You're unemployable. But let's go ahead and play this moral game, right? Let's take out the obvious consequences to being dishonorably discharged from the military. This only works right now because she feels like she's right. What if she's wrong? What if we don't attack and then next week sleeper cells start destroying America, right? Oh, you don't care. You already had 2,000 service members who watched this, decided not to follow orders, get dishonorably discharged, processed out of the military, had their lives ruined, get sent back to the States, and now Iran's attacking us. This takes a lot of hubris. It takes a greater than thou viewpoint to be like, I know what's right and when the military should be involved in a conflict. Candace has no fucking clue what she's talking about.
The dishonor has come from our politicians who routinely lie in our faces and are willing to let us die to serve their financial interests. So why don't they dishonorably discharge themselves from public office? That works for me. And I think a great place for you guys to go into would be into security. There are a lot of security firms that are popping up all over.
Good luck getting your security license with a dishonorable discharge. Yeah, you might get paid under the table. But you want to file taxes? Want to be able to have a legal income? Good luck qualifying for a mortgage with your under the table salary as a security guard. Oh, you got stabbed on the job in security? And now there is no company insurance policy that can be taken out for you because all your money was under the table? Oh, shoot, man. Your guard card, you can't have a felony. It's dumb. She genuinely doesn't know what she's talking about. She's playing with normal people's livelihoods. And she may not agree with all the choices that the United States government makes, but the second that you claim some type of subjective moral position that this is when the military should stop acting, then what's the point of them ever doing any conflict? Why fight in any war? If it's that simple, right? You don't agree with it, then you don't do it. The military wouldn't be the military. Every day, service members have to do something that they may not agree with. But if you start questioning those orders, you question all orders. And when you question all orders, you don't have a military.
I'm certainly a person that needs security all the time. And I think that's the way. Start establishing your own security companies and all other jobs. I mean, you guys are the brawn, you know what I mean? And there's no question that America is never out of jobs for people who are willing to actually use their bodies. We need you guys. And I would totally respect a dishonorable discharge at this moment, because you
Oh, of course you would, right? Because you're going to hire every single service member that gets dishonorably discharged because you said they shouldn't listen to the military. Right? You're going to take care of all of them. I swear, man. This is probably like one of the dumbest things she's ever said. Ever. Hurts to see people that you look up to act like this, but it is what it is, man. Maybe she'll look back on this statement and regret it. But she's Candance Owens, right? She would never admit to that. She in theory can say, yeah, I've been wrong before, but it would kill her to fucking take some accountability for what she said, look some people in the eyes that go ahead and disobey the military and their lives are ruined. Or heaven forbid that they disobey the military and then the next day or the next week or the next month, the conflict becomes justified. Look, guys, to my fellow service members and veterans, if you are watching this and you had for a moment a lapse of judgment to where you're like, you know what, Candace is making sense, I don't believe in this war, I shouldn't be fighting in it, I urge you to reconsider your line of thinking. You signed a dotted line, man. You committed yourself to the country, and if the country chooses to put you in this conflict, you may not like it. That's super shitty. But let me just offer you this. You're never going to be excited to go into a conflict. You're never going to be looking forward to all the people you're going to have to unfortunately take out. That's a reason why people respect the military so much. It's a sacrifice, brother. The way you regulate what conflicts we should or should not be in is who you elect. And I got news for you. All the people that are thinking, oh, this is happening because Trump's in office, I could assure you this was going to happen with Kamala as well. You don't think she wasn't taking AIPAC money? You know that, not that all Jewish people are Zionists, but the majority of Jewish people are Democrats. You know that, right? It's silly, man. Anyways, Candace, you're stupid as fuck for making this claim. I respect you a lot, but this was just a complete lapse of judgment. You're wrong on this. You are wrong. I'm Evan. This was the video. Thank you for watching. Peace.